Dear all, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to my presentation. This is Mosnat Farzana and my student ID number is 1418017. Before starting my presentation, I would like to thank our honorable co-teacher Tahusain, lecturer, Department of Gender and Development Studies, Begum Rokeya University, Rangpur, and also to all of you who are watching this video. Thanks for your watching. My presentation topics is Feminist Critiques of Demography. To discuss these topics, I have made an index which contains first, an introductory discussion of Feminist Critiques of Demography, second, a detailed discussion on it, and finally, conclusion. But in my presentation, I will focus some major issues. First, feminist critiques of population control policy. Second, population and masculinity modernity. Third, demographic transition model. Fourth, early birth control and eugenics movement. Fifth, hegemonic masculinity. And finally, demographic convictions and sound knowledge. The feminist critiques of demography focus on population knowledge, the gender binary conceptualities of fertility, reproductive injustice, gender difference of demography field, and their vulnerability of birth control policy and contraceptive method. In particular, transitional feminist scholar and activism has the racial and class-based and imperialist gender bias underlining the oppressive population control practices across the globe. Demographic theory and gender practices calculation according to feminists created a procedure of thinking about fertility, mortality, growth, modernization, economic development that sparked the population crisis and compelled nation to act. It shows how to the history of demographic fact and figure is crucial to a fuller understanding the gender geopolitics that authorized the consequence limitation of fertility as a growing governing technology and the normative requirement of the modern citizenship globally. The concept of hegemonic masculinity developed by the sociology Review Connell. Hegemonic masculinity is thus the configuration of gender practice which embodies the currently accepted answer to the problem of legitimacy of patriarchy as the broad subordination of women's and the hierarchy of men and masculine. The famous book of essay on the principles of population by Thomas Malthus, reading the essay as an account of the reproductive of the modern citizenship globally. The concept of hegemonic masculinity developed by the sociology Review Connell. Hegemonic masculinity is thus the configuration of gender practice which embodies the currently accepted answer to the problem of legitimacy of patriarchy as the broad subordination of women's and the hierarchy of men and masculine. The famous book of essay on the principles of population by Thomas Malthus, reading the essay as an account of the reproductive mastery of European masculinity. The chapter illuminates the intertwined logics of gender difference and hierarchy that organize modern population discourse. The relationship between demography and transitional feminist reproductive policies by seeing the fate of demographic knowledge and goals in 1974 and 1994 UN Population Conference. In both cases, the priorities of population control were displaced by the constancy of anti-colonial development and women's rights. That's all of my side for the time being. Thank you so much for listening my speech with patience. Hope the conversation will help us for our academic purpose. Stay well till then. Allah Hafiz.